Today, we're diving into the incredible essay, Color, Perception, and Human Worth by D.L. Dantes. It's all about the huge and often painful gap between what we see on the surface and what's actually true underneath. So, let's break it down.
It starts with this single, powerful idea. So simple, right? Skin color does not determine intellect. It's a fact. But if it's so simple, why does our world seem so determined to get it wrong?
And that's really the heart of the problem we're digging into today. You have this undeniable biological truth on one side, and on the other, you have these complicated, painful social systems built on ignoring it. So how does that confusion even happen?
Well, to help us understand this, the essay gives us a fantastic analogy. It all comes down to the difference between essence and perception.
Okay, think about it like this. What's a writer? A writer is someone who writes. It's about the substance, the actual act of creation. It's their intrinsic reality. But an author, well, that's a title. It's a status given to them by the public. It's all about external perception. See the difference? One is what you are, the other is what people call you.
And here is the absolute key. We make this exact same mistake with people all the time. We see a label, a physical trait, and we confuse that perception, the author, with the person's real substance, the writer. We literally judge the book by its cover.
So you might be asking, if skin color isn't a measure of someone's intellect or worth, what does it actually tell us? Well, the biological story is pretty amazing.
You know, the essay puts it beautifully. Our skin color is like a living document. It tells a deep story of adaptation to the sun, a story of human migration across the globe. It's a map of our ancestry and a clear record that humanity has always mixed and mingled.
So let's be absolutely crystal clear here. The science is settled. There is no biological basis, zero, for the idea that someone's outer appearance tells you anything about their inner character, their intelligence, or their value as a human being. The science just isn't there.
Okay, so if biology doesn't support these hierarchies, where on earth do they come from? Well, they come from what the essay calls a social fiction. It's an illusion we've built.
So, what is a social fiction? It's basically a story that a society agrees to tell itself and then starts to believe is real. You take a physical trait, like skin color, and you attach a whole bunch of made-up meanings to it. You create a reality that's based purely on perception, not on biology. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. That feeling of certainty that some people have about race, it's not based on deep knowledge or facts. It's just a kind of confidence that comes from only having part of the story, a social idea that's masquerading as a hard truth.
And the result of this whole illusion is really, really dangerous. It creates these false hierarchies. It convinces entire cultures that it's easier and somehow better to judge people by how they look, instead of doing the much harder work of understanding who they actually are.
Now, this flawed way of thinking doesn't just affect how we see individuals. It also completely distorts how we understand our own shared human history and all of our incredible achievements.
Let's get this straight. No single group has a monopoly on genius. Not now, not ever. Innovation, science, art, philosophy, these things aren't the product of one race. They're a shared human inheritance that we've all built together over thousands of years.
This is how human progress actually works. It's like a relay race. An idea starts in one place. It gets borrowed and improved somewhere else. Then it gets adapted and totally transformed by another group. And then it's returned to the world in a new, better form. That's not a weakness. That's the engine of our collective genius. Okay, so let's bring all these threads together. If looking at someone's color, this whole game of perception, is such a terrible guide, then what is the real measure of a person or even a society? This is it. This is the big takeaway. A physical trait is just that, a trait. It's one tiny piece of an infinitely complex person. It is not, and it never ever can be, the final measure of a human being's value or their potential.
And really, this is the challenge that the essay leaves us with. You know, a great society isn't defined by how many clever boxes it can put people into. It's defined by how well it nurtures the potential that exists in all of its people, no matter what labels we try to stick on them.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Just imagine for a second, what could our world become? What kind of brilliance could we unlock if we finally stopped judging the author and started to see the true, incredible substance of the writer in every single person? What could we achieve then?